So first, I'm excited to introduce Juan Arroyave. Juan is a dynamic entrepreneur who has made a name for himself in the business world through his ventures, Kikos Coffee and Tea, and Skytop Digital Services. His passion for creating positive change in the community is reflected in his success as an entrepreneur.
Hi, how are you?
And next we have Roberto Martinez. Roberto is the founder and CEO of Braven Agency, a digital marketing agency, and SMRTS, an SMB success tracking software company. Thank you so much for being here, Roberto.
Happy to be here.
You guys are both just perfect for this because we are digging into marketing and budget-friendly marketing. So all of you who have joined, you are in great hands, and we are going to jump into it. So my next question is for Juan. Can you share a low-cost social media campaign that you ran that had a big impact with a small budget?
Sure. That's a very interesting question because we recently had a very popular post. But before I answer that, I have to go that when you're doing social media, organic social media, you have to have a well-planned strategy. And it's not as crazy as people think. It's very basic. You just basically have to know what are you want to talk about. Educational posts, brand posts, promotional posts, or posts of value, right? So those are my business pillars, right? And I divide that in a percentage. So in my case, I like to be very consultant oriented. I like to educate my audience, right? Because that's the added value. I don't only provide the service, I provide consultation for them to be ready to go to the next level.
Thank you so much, Juan. And yes, I love what you mentioned about your pillars. And I've heard about that before, kind of having content pillars. And I want to ask both, and I'll start with Roberto. What's one piece of advice you can offer business owners to enhance their marketing strategy on a low cost?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched this again, so I'll just restate it. It's understanding your end user, understanding your customer, being customer centric by asking them questions. So maybe that's the last piece that I would say. You have to talk to your customers. You'll be surprised. They love hearing from you. You might think you're bothering them, but they want to hear from you. They want to tell you what worked, what didn't work. And that's going to help you improve the company. So reach out to your customers, send them surveys, give them a call. Right now we're going through the 2023 customer list of our company, and we're calling up and say, hey, just want to check up on you, how you're doing, is everything great in your business? What can we do to help? We have some free services to provide you if you want them. They'll look at you like, oh my God, you haven't forgotten about us? You still want to talk to us? Because sometimes, I get it, not every customer is your customer. Sometimes those customers are very trying, but we're here because we want to serve and help our community. And so reaching out to them and just talking to them and hearing them out and better understanding what worked and what didn't work is going to help you become a better business.
Embrace change. In marketing, there's nothing written. Things can change quarterly. Now, before it was like, hey, let's create a marketing plan for a year. That is not true anymore. Just create your plan per quarter, aligning it for the year, but every month check. You may need to change your goals. Something in the market happens. Things with all of us like changes so drastically. My marketing plan changes every quarter. My personal marketing plan. So don't just write it down and just leave it there. You created it for a reason. Just be on top of it. Measure. Create your KPIs, your return on investment. You are the CEO of your business and your life. Just make it happen. Use all of these resources.
Love that. Love that. Yes, embrace change. What are some cost-effective email marketing strategies that small businesses can use for their audience?
Absolutely, Brittany. Yeah. And I think that that's exactly what I had in my notes. Email marketing is the most claims to be, and I back it up from my own experience, claims to be the most cost-effective marketing channel in the marketplace. And that's just because of the scalability of email marketing. The way they explained it to me many moons ago is, how long did it take you to shoot an email to one person? What if you forward that email to 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people? It's still those 3 to 5 minutes. If you make a newsletter, it might be an hour to say it's an hour to create a newsletter. But once you send it, that scale of email is fantastic. You can reach 500, 1,000, 10,000. You guys, AOF, have a list of maybe 15, 20,000 folks in that email distribution list. So the scalability of email is fantastic. So what do we as business owners have to do is build the list. Someone way smarter than me and way more popular than me and way more brilliant than me, Gary Vaynerchuk, 15 years ago now, 20 years ago, had a book, and they called it Jab, 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 Left Cross, I think is the name of the book. But what they say is that you build value by providing the end user value, building that list, and you do it by educating them on the things that they need through that content. So you're always providing something that they need. And so you're providing value, providing value, providing value. When you think about your email marketing campaign, you want to create content that's useful for the end user without asking anything in return. And I know that's really hard for us. We want to get the sale. But if they trust you, and that's the big piece, trust. We want the customer to trust us by providing value. Now, you might say, Roberto, what the hell is value? It could be, I don't really negotiate or work really hard on lowering your price point, but it could be useful tips and tricks. It could be how to improve your Christmas party or your holiday party or your spring break or your solar equinox or solar eclipse in 5 easy ways for your business owner. That's value. That could be seen as value. So as you're communicating that value through email, you could ask them to reshare that email. You can also create a landing page or social media post that drives people to submit their email. And it's also reciprocity. When you send them to the website, most folks do a promotional code, but it could be value like the newsletter. It could be value like a one-page cheat sheet. It could be something like a freedom model. Test this out for a month, and we'll provide you, a discount. Or if you're trying to reach out to corporate entities, you can start thinking about what do they care about and what you can do. And I love what Juan was talking about a couple of minutes earlier when it comes to identifying the decision makers. What I love doing, and I've seen exceptional businesses do, is create champions around the decision maker. And so what do we mean by that? You create the content, and you give the content to the folks who are influencing the decision maker, so that when they meet, everyone is speaking about you, and everyone is sending them brochures and videos about your company. And so the decision maker is like, who the hell is this person at this company that's doing such an amazing job? I have, the communications director, the PR director, the administrator sending me the same content. Like, we need to talk to Dandy or we need to talk to Jill because they're doing an amazing job. So that's the value of creating content that's sticky, that's engaging, building out that list to help you scale, and leveraging that list to lower your cost. I'll just give you one quick example. I used to work for a very big rideshare company. I won't say who it is, but it was very big. It came out in 2012. It exploded in 2012. And it was scary how much money they would make per email. Anytime we had a down quarter, and I was the marketing manager for that company, they were like, shoot out an email. And we would shoot out an email, and we would increase sales by a tune of like $150,000, one email. It was bonkers. That really drove home the power of email.
That's really amazing, especially as like a consumer. Some emails really do stick, and I wouldn't have been thinking about it at all, unless I got that email. So that's a very helpful way to utilize email and think about what you can offer in terms of like getting an email. I saw those were a couple of questions in the chat. How do I build my email list? I think that question like perfectly discusses that. So thank you both again. Thank you all to the attendees for taking time out of your busy day to be a part of this, and we will see you next time. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.